Well, this is breaking news. Well, I wouldn't consider it breaking news, but I consider it an absolute verbal blunder on the side of Donald Trump, our president. Let's just let's just give this a watch, shall we?
Your memo and release yesterday on Jeffrey Epstein,
Yes.
it left some lingering mysteries. One of the biggest ones is whether he ever worked for a American or foreign intelligence agency. The former Labor Secretary, who was Miami U.S. Attorney Alex Costa, he allegedly said that he did work for an intelligence agency. So could you resolve whether or not he did? And also, could you say why there was a minute missing from the jailhouse tape on the night of the step?
Yeah, sure. If
Hey,
I
Pam,
could,
could I just interrupt for
Sure.
1 second? Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's
Yeah, he is because you ran your entire campaign off the fact that the files were going to be released. We're going to get names, we're going to get faces, right? And he's not talking to you. He's talking to her. Like, isn't she the one that said that she was asked and she's like, oh, the files are on the table, you know? So, yeah.
been talked about for years. You're asking, we have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things. And are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That is unbelievable. Do you want to?
Yeah. And again, because I'd say this is probably one of the biggest things, like the biggest, like, background discussions that are happening, because you had the situation where he was arrested. A lot of things came out about what Jeffrey Epstein was doing, and he was sent to he was effectively sent to prison or the jail at the time, and then he was killed. And, like, well, allegedly. I mean, everyone knew that he was murdered. Like, I don't think a single person believed that he killed himself. Like, regardless of, where or when or what type of person, what political ideology you had, everyone universally agreed that he was killed, right? Because, and people, a lot of conspiracy theories just came from it, but, like, Trump, you ran your entire, like, career, well, most of your, like, campaign off the fact that we will get answers, and now you're doubling back, and I'm gonna try to discuss why in a little bit.
Waste the time, and do you feel like answering?
I don't mind answering.
I mean, I can't believe you're asking a question on Epstein at a time like this, where we're having some of the greatest success and also tragedy with what happened in Texas. It just seems like a desecration. But you,
No, I mean, I get that idea. Like, you could have said, yeah, we can talk about that, but right now we're kind of dealing with this situation. But I think he's more of an actor, right?
go ahead.
Sure, sure. First, to back up on that, in February, I did an interview on Fox, and it's been getting a lot of attention because I said, I was asked a question about the client list, and my response was, it's sitting on my desk to be reviewed, meaning the file, along with the JFK, MLK files as well. That's what I meant by that. Also, to the tens of thousands of video, they turned out to be child porn downloaded by that disgusting Jeffrey Epstein. Child porn is what they were. Never going to be released, never going to see the light of day. To him,
Well, okay, and I understand that, right? But, I mean, video editing exists, right? And what we really need, we don't even really need the video. We just need the freeze frame on the individuals and be like, have you seen me? And people be like, yes. Like, you can edit the footage to the point, because someone had to have looked at that footage to even come to that conclusion. Like, God, I could never, but someone had to fucking do it. And the evidence is there. So there's so many ways to go about releasing that evidence to where, like, you can do it in a way where people understand what the fuck's going on, and how to identify the faces, because that's really what people want, right? People want the faces that were there, not the video itself. God forbid.
Him being an agent, I have no knowledge about that. We can get back to you on that. And the minute missing from the video, we released the video showing definitively the video was not conclusive, but the evidence prior to it was showing he committed suicide. And what was on that, there was a minute that was...
Yeah, again, like, that's sort of like a movie type of plot where that minute where he committed or, was killed, like, for some reason the guards weren't on duty, and for some reason the minute it happened the cameras were cut off, and then the thing was done. Like, how the fuck is a movie plot literally slipping into reality? Like, so many things are happening that's like, okay, like, everyone, you don't need to be an investigator to be like, okay, obviously something has happened within that time recording that isn't shown.
Off the counter. And what we learned from Bureau of Prisons was every night, they redo that video. It's old, from like 1999. So every night the video is reset, and every night should have the same minute missing. So we're looking for that video to release that as well, showing that a minute is missing every night. And that's it on Epstein.
No, I don't think it. I hate how these fucking commercials just sneak up on you. And okay, let me give you what I think, my completely unsolicited, uneducated opinion on this, because that's what people want, right? My completely unsolicited, uneducated opinion. I think that maybe there's an agent on the field, like one, there are agents, people that have been blackmailed, and agents that would be identified at the time, and either they're working for the CIA or the FBI or whatever, and they're like, well, if you point these individuals out, right, these perfectly blackmailed individuals to, give us information on this, like, then, you can screw up the entire investigation. And that's 100%, I guess, reasonable if he would have, they could have said that. Or, even if it's not true, right? Or it's still an ongoing investigation. They don't want to tip their hand immediately to anything that's happening, right? So there's nothing truly conclusive, and they want to wait until they have full conclusive evidence that there were the individuals that were identified in the video that they apparently have, that was apparently on her sitting on her desk and in the file. 3, and this is the least likely, but you kind of gotta take things like this into consideration. Like, maybe the file incriminates, like, maybe either someone in the cabinet or someone, like, I guess in a political individual of the Republicans, or that are either with them or work with them, and they're like, okay, we'll work with you, we'll pass any law, any regulation you want, but, if you do this, well, we're not supporting you. So there's effectively blackmail on him. This is the least likely, but again, I'm trying, like, I'm running through my mindset of the situation on what could be going on. What do the comments say? Whoa, why was Trump so defensive so quickly? Makes him look super guilty. I mean, to be fair, it does make him look guilty, but I feel like if he was on the list, which is what this comment is alluding to, he would just shut the fuck up about it. Like, he's not like them, Gen Z TikTokers that will commit legitimate crimes and then film themselves doing the crimes. Then be Pikachu face that they were caught doing the crimes, and then the consequences of their actions roll up on them, right? Not suspicious at all. Such a bad liar. I think there's things that, again, he's privy to that we're not, right? I'd given you what I thought was the couple of situations, even though those the least likely, but the thing that came to mind. He literally said he would declassify the files word for word, and he said he would. It was part of his election campaign. Yes, this is what I'm saying. It was part of his campaign. He wants to backtrack. Well, to be fair, I don't think he's backtracking. I think he's doing the thing he's supposed to do, assuming the first two reasons I've given are correct. Maybe something's ongoing. Maybe it would incriminate some of the other agents. I wasn't lying about Trump being on the list. Again, if he was on the fucking list, he would have shut the fuck up. Like, you don't get to where he's at and being a TikTok Zoomer. Trump's name was all over those files. We don't fucking know. Sounds like people are being gaslit. Was a simple question. It was, but it's still an ongoing discussion, an ongoing case. Like, I'm not defending him. I'm just running this through my brain of, okay, what are the actions he could have taken if he was on the list? And he definitely wouldn't be talking about it. Like, why would you why would you be a Zoomer about it? He just made himself sound super guilty. I mean, I think he just explained it in a he went about it poorly. Pretty lame. Trump, this may end up being your legacy. Yeah, I mean, his legacy was to end the Ukraine war, have some sort of stability in the Middle East, and the Jeffrey Epstein files. Again, a thing that everyone knows that he was murdered. And people are going to bring it up, right? Because, again, it was one of the biggest things. Like, we're talking politicians, senators, people that have, probably sat in those chairs right next to him, possibly being part of what's going on. Like, this is information people want to know. Like, I don't... I think he went about it all wrong. Like, I think he's being too defensive, but he could have been like, okay, ongoing investigation, we'll see. She'll give her side, and that'll be that. Not a single person believes the list doesn't exist. Not a single person believes he offed himself. This is the most blatant cover-up of all time. Again, people are assuming cover-up. I'm assuming we don't really have much. Either it's not conclusive, right? Or there's blackmailed and agents and individuals in there that, would either working for FBI or CIA, and it would incriminate them. Why is he so triggered? I mean, he's not triggered. He's being a businessman in this situation. He's like, okay, why are we talking about this? I don't think he's nervous either. He's like, well, okay, it's going to be an ongoing thing. It's Epstein list sitting on my desk right now to review. Says the guy who can't let go of Hillary, Biden, or Obama. I'm so shocked the guy who flew around on Epstein's plane doesn't want to release the real evidence. I mean, again, I'm not saying it doesn't make Trump look bad, but again, I'm thinking of the unrelated the P. Diddy situation. Like, if you have, and I'm trying to get into the mindset, and it's real difficult. If you run the type of shit that, say you're wanting to launder money through fucking Greek restaurants, like you'll have the legitimate business as the cover up. Say, I don't know, they get some of their supplies or some of their produce from you, but then you have the illegitimate business. I mean, this is just something that would make sense, and I'm kind of thinking the same thing with Epstein. Okay, yeah, Trump absolutely, I 100% believe Trump flew on the plane, but Epstein had the legitimate business, right? Then he had the weird fucking creepy bullshit that God knows he should probably get his fucking balls chopped off at the time if he was alive, that he was doing. Like, things that he did, like, this is why people want to bring back firing squad. Like, not just for the fact that it would happen to Jeffrey Epstein, but it's the fact that if anyone else decides to pull some disgusting shit like this, that's a warning to how you'll be treated. Get used to it. We the people aren't letting this go. Exactly. People are just now people are just gonna keep talking about it. Disgusting, so disappointed. Had to throw my MAGA hat away after this one. Gaslighting like you've never seen before. Again, everyone's jumping the gun, and I'm looking at I'm reading into the terminology he's using. He's not really, defending himself. He's maybe even kind of annoyed that it's brought up, even though, again, it's still something ongoing. But it isn't a look good. It isn't a good look for him, Trump, and his fans. But anyway, that's all I gotta say about this odd video. But we'll see. I don't know how YouTube will think, what YouTube will think about this video. But anyway, peace out.